Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today is going to be another individual training session. I know a lot of you have been enjoying these, you've given me some really good feedback, so I want to continue putting them out if they do provide value for you, seeing how I put together my individual sessions and structure them. So today is going to be fully individual, at least that's the plan. I know in my previous one of my teammates, Dario, jumped in halfway through, so I adjusted the session slightly, especially with the finishing. So today I'm going to go through the same format, going through my dynamic warm-up, some band work, some dynamic ball mastery, get some first touch in, and then I'm going to finish with a few ball striking exercises, and I'm going to go with the ones I plan to do in my previous individual session. Had a couple of questions asking about the shoes I've been using. I believe these are called Nike React Gatos. So they're designed for futsal, but I just wanted something comfortable to wear inside to give my feet a break from wearing football boots, because they are quite constricting, and when I'm playing out in the heat, my feet can take a bit of a beating. So it's good just to give them some relief, but still get some technical work in a more comfortable shoes. So they've been great for me, really comfortable. As I mentioned, the upper really reminds me of the OG Hypervenoms. So stretchy, really nice sole as well, grippy on the ball. Find it's really good traction in here, even though I'm playing on AG, they've been doing a really good job. So that's the shoes I've been using. Just before we get into the session, I want to say a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is where I built my very own website, and from websites and analytics to marketing tools, Squarespace is the all-in-one place to grow your online presence and manage your business. But let's get right into the session. So I started the training session the same way I always do, with a dynamic warm-up. You guys have seen this warm-up many times here on the channel, so I'm going to skip through these exercises pretty quickly, but I'll do this every single session. Helps avoid injuries and also helps you actually activate the body so you're more effective during the drills. You're going to get a lot more out of your training session if you do a warm-up. Then I'll always go into some band activations. So this just really helps you activate those hard to activate areas such as the groins, the hip flexors and the glutes. And then I always go into a few repetitions of fast feet exercises. Helps me coordinate the body and the mind. Also just switches on those fast twitch muscle fibers. Again, this is only going to take you 5 to 10 minutes to do the dynamic warm-up, band work, and the fast feet, but you're going to feel so much better and you're going to get a ton more out of your training session if you take the time. Then I just went into this dynamic ball mastery exercise, so I've just scattered a few cones about, and I'm just using all the different surface areas of both feet to manipulate the ball, just getting a lot of touches. Again, I always like to begin with dynamic ball mastery, and it helps my touch feel a lot sharper for the rest of the session. So I just went through this exercise for 3 repetitions of 20 seconds of work, with about 10 to 20 seconds rest in between each one. Then I went into some very basic first touch work. So all I'm doing is using the wall. And to begin with, I'm not giving myself a limit for how many touches I can have, but I try to keep it to about 3. So I'm just juggling the ball, then returning it to the wall, and then just trying to control it with different surface areas of both feet. So the inside, the outside, the laces. And then I just went through a few different sequences. So then I went into 2 touch. So giving myself a limit of 2 touches each time the ball rebounds off the wall, just to challenge my touch a little bit more, make sure I'm accurate with it. Again, just trying to use all the different surface areas of both feet. And then finally, I went into some one-touch work. So for each of these exercises, I just went for about 30 seconds in total, really focusing on trying to balance my touches between my left and right foot. Then I went into the shooting portion of my training session. So to start with, I'm just working on some first time finishing. So driving the ball at the wall, letting it rebound, and then striking it first time. So as I mentioned in my previous training session, the one with Dario, it's really important to work on this first time shooting technique, because sometimes in a game you won't have the time to take a touch, so you need to be able to strike the ball first time. It's really important to work on that timing, striking through the middle of the ball, which is quite difficult when the ball's on the move, because you have to have good timing not only with your kicking leg but also your planting foot to get it right beside the ball and angled towards your target so you can strike the ball and your hips are already going in that direction. So I just began on the right side there, working on some right side finishes, probably went for about 15 to 20 reps or so, and then I just came onto the left side and did the exact same thing. So it's good to get an equal amount of reps on your right and left foot, because sometimes in a match you're not always going to have it on your favored side, so you want to be effective and at least be able to hit the target with your weak foot. Then I just went into a very simple first touch and finishing exercise. So I'm passing the ball at the wall, quick glance over my shoulder, so I'm getting comfortable being able to take my eyes off the ball for a split second. Then I'm receiving the ball with the inside of my foot, stopping it, and then with my next touch I'm using the outside of that same foot to push it out my feet so I can strike it towards my target. For this exercise, I just went through about 10 to 15 reps or so. Just wanted to get that first touch under control and then work on some more powerful ball strikes. So setting up that touch, pushing out my feet 90 degrees and just trying to whip it more towards that right hand side of the goal more often than not. So as you can see, just improvising if the ball doesn't come on the right side of me, just taking it as it comes and adjusting my body so I can work on a few different types of techniques, because in a match everything's not always going to go perfect. And then the final drill is just a directional first touch into a 1-2. So I'm opening up my hips, pushing the ball in the direction I want to go. And then it's a 1-2 with the wall, so I pass it at an angle. Then I carry on my run, taking the touch in my stride. And then with my next touch, I'm trying to strike the ball towards my target. So as you can see, I'm working on the left-hand side, which means all the touches are with my right foot. And then the strike is with my left foot. So for this exercise, I just went through about 10 to 15 reps on the left-hand side of the pitch, and then I went over and did the exact same thing on my right. So there we go guys, that's the session complete. As you can see, I've got quite a decent sweat on actually. A little bit more intense session than my previous couple that I've shown you. Just a bit more movement off the ball, slightly a bit more running involved, but the main focus was still all on technique. So got some ball mastery, got a lot of first touch work in and plenty of finishing on both feet. So happy with that session, just showing you guys how I'm staying sharp on my off days, getting those extra touches that sometimes you miss out on in team sessions, because obviously you've got a lot more players, so you're touching the ball a lot less. So if you can come inside or go to a field by yourself and get those extra touches, you're just going to be a better player for it. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. Another huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is where I built my very own website, 7mlctraining.com. You can get my programs, you can access my podcast, all my social media platforms. Basically everything 7MLC training related is in one place. So if you have a brand, an online business, and you want a website, I'd recommend checking out Squarespace. They make it really easy to build a professional looking website without needing to know anything about coding or web design. And if you use the code in my description, www.squarespace.com/7mlc, you can get 10% off your first website. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button for weekly training videos, and I will see you guys in my next video.